On the world news, U.S. President Joe Biden lays out investment plans to Congress. India state holds elections as COVID-19 deaths hits record high. Former South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa admits to ANC's failure to stop corruption. Good afternoon, welcome to the World News on ITV. I am Blessing A.J. The Federal Executive Council, FEC, has extensively debated the nation's alarming poverty level and approved a new policy strategy to tackle the menace. Special Advisor on Media and Publicity to the President, Femi Adesina, who disclosed this to State House correspondents, says the Council took note of the worrying situation. ITV State House correspondent Ikarata has details.
In the face of worrisome insecurity across the country, President Muhammadu Buhari presided over the weekly Federal Executive Council meeting. Briefing correspondent after the meeting, presidential media aide Femi Adesina says worried by the worsening poverty level in the country, the Federal Executive Council Wednesday extensively discussed the issue and approved a new policy strategy to tackle the menace of poverty. According to him, the federal government was not unaware of the poverty level in the country, but was doing something about it. He said it was in that light that FEC approved the National Poverty Reduction with Growth Strategy.
The Federal Executive Council noted the worsening poverty situation in the country and the efforts of the federal government to redress that situation. It's not as if government is not aware that there's poverty in the land, but things have been done, and one of it is this National Poverty Reduction with Growth Strategy.
Mr. Adesina said Vice President Yemi Oshibanjo is to chair the steering committee of the new policy to provide overall guidance for its implementation. Also speaking at the briefing, the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadia Farouk, regretted the incident attacks on the camps of internally displaced persons. Speaking against the background of the attack by suspected herdsmen on the Abagana IDP camp in Benue State, which led to the death of 7 persons, she called for the beefing up of security around them.
We are not able to execute this contract because the contractor said they won't be able to really execute because of the price increases, and so we have to go back to BPP for variation.
On his part, Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Timi Presiva, announced that FEC approved a facility maintenance contract for Nigeria's content house, Yanagua, at the cost of 2.1 billion naira.
This facility maintenance contract was given to Messrs. Megastar Nigeria Limited. The Council graciously approved.
The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Geoffrey Oyema, says FEC adopt a national diaspora policy engineered by the Nigerian Diaspora Commission led by Abike Dabiri. From the Aso Rock Presidential Villa, Ikaro Atta, ITV News, Abuja.
Authorities of the Gateway Polytechnic Shapadi, Ogun State, have shut the institution following the worsening security challenges around the Polytechnic. The institution also put on hold indefinitely ongoing semester examination until the security situation improves. The school was shut on Wednesday as students battle with robbery and rape cases around their residences took a frightening dimension in the last few days. The acting registrar of the Gateway Polytechnic, Shapadi, J.O. Mukwola, ordered students to proceed on mid-semester break immediately until the security situation improves. However, the Ogun State Police spokesman, Abimbola Oyeyemi, said the security situation in the area has not degenerated to the level of asking students to go home. The Independent National Electoral Commission has announced the date for the 2023 elections in the country. INEC Chairman Professor Mahmoud Yakubu made the announcement during a one-day hearing on the National Electoral Offences Commission Establishment Bill 2021, organized by the Senate Committee on INEC. According to the INEC boss, by the principle established by the Commission, the 2023 general election will hold on Saturday, 18th February 2023, which is exactly 1 year, 9 months, 2 weeks and 6 days, or 660 days from today. The INEC boss said the Commission hopes to release the timetable and schedule of activities for the election immediately after the Anambra governorship election, scheduled to hold on 6th November 2021. Professor Yakubu noted that one of the numerous responsibilities carried out by the Commission is the prosecution of electoral offenders, describing it as the most challenging duty for INEC. Governor David Untitled of EBONYI State has given security agencies 72 hours to bring the killers of 2 soldiers, a policeman and a civilian in the state to book. Governor Untitled handed down the ultimatum at a press briefing immediately after an enlarged Security Council meeting at the new government house, Abakaliki. According to Untitled, he gave an executive order that all native doctors and traditional medicine dealers must register in the state within 7 days, otherwise will be arrested and prosecuted. As part of measures to stem the tide of the unwarranted killings in the state, the governor imposed a curfew between 8 p.m. and 6 a.m. on every entry and exit point across the state, and also denied the rumor of herdsmen attack on schools. Meanwhile, former governor of Anambra State, Peter Obi, has advised Nigerians, irrespective of party affiliations, to join hands in tackling the challenges facing the country. Mr. Peter Obi, who ran for vice president in the 2019 general election, listed the challenges as insecurity, poverty and unemployment. According to him, the country is fast becoming a failed state, adding that the downward spiral should not be allowed to continue. The former governor of Anambra State, Peter Obi, said this amid the attacks on police personnel and formations in the southeast region where he hails from, and urged government to urgently seek foreign help. Edo State government has debunked the rumor making the rounds that the chairman of Obazagbon community, Joshua Edo, that allegedly manhandled a physically challenged man recently in Benin, is a member of the state's Community Vigilance Group network. The state advisor on security, Yusuf Haruna, made his known while briefing journalists in Benin. Government House correspondent Patience Osagiwa has details.
Yusuf Haruna, who condemned the activities of rumor mongers, said the story making the rounds on social media that the chairman of Obazagbon community, Joshua Edo, is a member of the state's Community Vigilantes network is untrue. He called on members of the public to discountenance such information on social media platforms. He reiterated that all members of the group are well screened and have a database for easy identification. He said the state's vigilante, which was vetted after the NSAS protest, has been widely commended for ensuring security of lives and property in the state.
I want to say emphatically that Joshua Edo from Obazagbon is not a member of Edo State Community Vigilante Network. All the members have filled forms and they are well screened, and we have a database for that. And I can authoritatively mention to you here that Joshua Edo is not a member of Edo State Community Vigilante Network. I want the members of the public to discountenance such information. Edo State Community Vigilante Network was vetted after the NSAS protest.
Mr. Haruna said the state government has designed a structure for the control and management of the community vigilantes network in all the communities in the 18 local government areas. He said no part of the state is habitable for criminal elements.
Our business going forward is to improve on this achievement, just that we can sustain a stable economic system, a security system that will boost the economy, the welfare and the well-being of Edo people. So, with the Community Vigilante Network, I will use this opportunity to assure Edo people and all the residents in Edo people that they can do business. In Edo State, they can sleep with their 2 eyes closed.
He used the opportunity to assure members of the public of adequate security. Patience Osaugiwa reporting.
The Esama of Benin and Honorary Romanian Consul to Edo and Delta State, His Excellency Sir Chief Dr. Gabriel Osawa Igbinedion, has congratulated the General Manager of Independent Television, Abuja, Mrs. Amba Olagwe, on her birthday. In a statement signed by the Director, Independent Television and Radio, Senior Elder Ogbedi Wuwonsi, the Esama rejoiced with Mrs. Olagwe for celebrating her birthday in good health. The Esama pointed out that Mrs. Amba Olagwe has distinguished herself as a professional broadcaster and a good manager of manpower and resources. Chief Igbinedion advised her to continue to contribute her quota to national development, while joining the woman to thank God for allowing her to witness the birthday with peace of mind. He prayed God to grant her many more years on earth. You're watching the World News on Independent Television. Still to come, former South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa admits to ANC's failure to stop corruption. You can watch ITV News on Roku TV in UK, America, Africa and other parts of Europe, and also on Smart TV, Amazon Fire TV and Android TV. You can view us on TSTV on channels 364 nationwide, and StarTimes channel 130 and GoTV channel 127. Follow us also on our Twitter handle at ITV Radio NG, on YouTube at youtube.com/ITV Radio NG. Visit our website for more stories and live streaming at itvradionageria.com/live, and Facebook at facebook.com/ITV Radio NG, on Instagram at ITV NG. Download the ITV app from your mobile Play Store. Stay tuned. Thank you for staying with us on the World News on ITV. U.S. President Joe Biden has laid out a sweeping investment plan for jobs, education, and social care in his first speech to a joint session of Congress. Delivered on the eve of his 100th day in office, the Democrats pitched about $4 trillion in spending, the largest overall of U.S. benefits since the 1960s. Rosen Ewuramin has details.
In a historic moment, U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris and House of Representatives Speaker Nancy Pelosi both sat behind Mr. Biden during Wednesday night's address. It was the first time 2 women appeared behind the president during a speech to Congress.
Madam Speaker, Madam Vice President, no president has ever said those words from this podium. No president has ever said those words, and it's about time.
The 78-year-old president presented the American Job Plan and the American Families Plan. The White House said the proposal would be funded by tax raises on corporations and wealthiest Americans.
After just 100 days, I can report to the nation, America is on the move again. My fellow Americans, trickle down economics has never worked. And it's time to grow the economy from the bottom and the middle out.
Meanwhile, there has been widespread opposition to the proposals from the Republican Party, which is unlikely to back tax increases and more government spending. The proposal follows the American Rescue Plan, a $1.9 trillion coronavirus stimulus package that included direct checks to most Americans, which Mr. Biden signed into law last month. Rosalind Eworame reporting.
The FBI has carried out searches at the home and office of Rudy Giuliani, who was Donald Trump's personal lawyer. The raid is part of a probe into Mr. Giuliani's dealings with Ukraine. His lawyer says he denies breaking the law. Before the 2020 presidential election, Mr. Giuliani led an effort to find incriminating information about Democratic candidate Joe Biden and his son Hunter in Ukraine. The warrant included an allegation that Giuliani failed to register as a foreign agent. Mr. Giuliani has previously described the investigation as pure political persecution. Turkey is going for its first full lockdown later today to curb the spread of coronavirus in the country. Some flock to the main bus terminal to get out of Istanbul, while others are trying to stockpile alcohol amid news of a booze ban. This is the mood as Turkey prepares to enter its first full lockdown of the pandemic to curb a surge in infections and deaths. This time last year, Turkey was seen as a success story for its early combative action and was even proud. Turkey is now among the countries worst affected by COVID, with the highest infection rate in Europe. People in the Indian state of West Bengal are voting in the final phase of elections despite soaring COVID cases. Rosalind Eworame reports that long queues were seen outside polling booths, raising concerns about the further spread of the virus as a deadly second wave sweeps the country.
India recorded more than 17,000 cases in the last 24 hours. Experts already fear that West Bengal could be the next epicenter of the virus, as campaigning has continued there with large crowds. The state has already seen 7 phases of voting. The eastern state is one of the few states where Prime Minister Narendra Modi does not have a majority of seats. There has been a lot of criticism that he continued to hold large rallies there even as the virus began overwhelming the country. Hospitals have been overwhelmed. Oxygen is a critically low supply and crematoriums are operating non-stop. The overall death toll officially surpassed 200,000 on Wednesday, though experts believe the actual number could be much higher. The country also reported 379,257 new infections today, which is seen as world's highest single-day total. The government has said that all adults will be eligible for COVID-19 vaccination from May 1st, with online registration opening from 28 April. Rosalind Eworame reporting.
South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa has admitted to the failure of the ruling party to prevent corruption during former President Jacob Zuma's rule. He said the African National Congress, ANC, should have done more to prevent corruption as he gave his testimony before a judicial inquiry probing allegations of corruption during Mr. Zuma's term as president. He said the ANC had not lived up to the expectations of the South African people in enforcing accountability, noting that corruption had undermined the rule of law. The president was speaking before the commission as head of the ANC and is expected to continue his testimony today. Mr. Zuma faces more than a dozen corruption-related charges, including fraud, racketeering, and money laundering during his 9 years of power. He denies any wrongdoing. Meanwhile, a magistrate in South Africa was charged in court for fraudulently acquiring a driving license. Bongikosi Mshali was charged along with 5 other suspects and released on a cash bail, local media reported. The magistrate was issued with a license by 4 officers who were also arrested, according to the investigating officer. The Road Traffic Management Corporation spokesperson, Simon Zwane, is quoted by the South African news website as saying that his arrest is a clear demonstration that no one is above the law and that NTA-CU investigates all allegations without fear or favor. The Southern African Development Community Security Summit that was to be held in Mozambique today has been postponed. Mozambican Foreign Minister Veronica Macamo said the body did not have a quorum because Botswana and South Africa's president would be absent. Botswana's Mogwetisi Masi is self-isolating after his staff members contracted COVID-19, while South Africa's Cyril Ramaphosa is testifying in a corruption inquiry. The Botswana government had in a statement said that the vice president would represent the president. The SADC had agreed to intervene on the insecurity in Cabo Delgado province, and that it was the heads of state who would come up with lasting solutions. The province has had a series of attacks by Islamist militants. Elsewhere, the head of an organization for people living with HIV in Kenya has accused the government of putting people's lives at risk after it distributed HIV drugs that had been discontinued. The drugs are a combined dosage of zidovudine, lamivudine, and nevirapine, which were discontinued in 2019. Some patients had exhibited unexpected side effects after taking the drugs. The 24,000 packs were part of old stock donated by the Global Fund and the President's emergency plan for AIDS relief. The World Health Organization has said that nevirapine-based treatment recorded an unacceptably high failure rate and had to be changed. The communication regulator in Kenya has suspended a television station and fined it for airing a pornographic scene during a children's program. During the same program, the station aired content that exposed minors to drug abuse and robbery with violence. Screenshots of the explicit sex scene have been shared online. The television station has been fined 500,000 Kenyan shillings. The station will also be off air for 4 weeks for the offense. The Communication Authority has also ordered that all staff be retrained and get accredited by the Media Council. In another development, Malawi's Supreme Court has ruled that the death penalty is unconstitutional. The court said the death penalty was against international human rights standards. This means that life sentence would be the highest punishment in Malawi. The ruling noted there had been no executions in the country since 1975. The Malawi Human Rights Commission described the ruling as progress. Malawi now becomes the 22nd sub-Saharan country to abolish the death penalty. China has launched a key module of a new permanent space station, the latest in Beijing's increasingly ambitious space program. The Tian module, which contains long living quarters for crew members, was launched from the Wuchang Space Launch Center on a long March 5B rocket. China hopes to have the new station operational by 2022, and the only space station currently in orbit is the International Space Station, from which China is excluded. So far, China has sent 2 previous space stations into orbits. That story completes the World News on ITV. Thank you for watching. I am Blessing Aichi. Good afternoon.
Independent television news, truly independent.
Renewable solar energy. Now then they answer our prayer now for electronics matter. Solar DC submersible pump for water boreholes. Solar DC freezer. Solar DC refrigerator. Solar DC fan. Solar DC generator. We still get the solar DC street and compound lights. All those ones still there. Inverters battery. Charge controllers. Solar panels. The same way we not they suffer. Now you make a go that the aging where they do for abroad though. Man, we still they sell another thing. MDF, HDF, floorboard, plywood and accessories. Nigeria antenna, PVC seals, and accessories. Perfemo renewable solar energy. Our office address. May you visit us for solar greenhouse for number 400 kilometer 10 Sapele Road, opposite Dangote's main truck yard, former ROCC Obekwata for Benin City. Abi you want to call us for phone number? Quickly also 08037241249 or 08025111964. Perfemo Nigeria Limited. Home of quality, satisfaction, and good life.